Hello, this is my 2008 short wheelbase Volkswagen Caddy, which I have just spent the last 19 days converting into a tiny camper van. It used to look like this. And now I'll show you what it looks like now. So one of the important things when I was designing this, or putting the ideas together in my head at least, was that you would be able to just stop, open the door, go in, and it would work. You could make a cup of tea, there wouldn't be lots of stuff in the way, you wouldn't have to move any seats or anything, it just would work straight away. So if I open the door, straight away I can just get in and sit on my chair, which is excellent. Now to sort of convert it to its proper living mode is fairly simple. You just have to move these seats forward. You don't need to tilt them or anything if you don't want to at first. And then there are two flaps here and here, which lift up, and a cushion that goes over to give you some extra space. So I'll sort of show you how that works now. And there you have it. If you want, which is actually a little bit better, if you tilt these seats sort of forward and move them back a bit, then they work nicely as seat backs for this bench seat. But you don't need to, but you can. So that's how that works, and now I'll show you what's inside. So when I was building the bed, the whole thing is basically built around 3 of these big storage boxes, which you can fit loads of stuff in. I thought about putting doors on the front of here, but then I realised they just get in the way, and you don't really need them, so I just left them like that. Under the floor, by the way, there's some of that silver bubble insulation. There's the original plywood floor from the van. There's a vinyl floor, and then I found this kind of big long doormat that I could just cut down quite easily to fit. Behind here, behind the tongue and groove on the walls, is the original plywood and some silver insulation, and I've also filled in the gaps with some fluffy insulation stuff. Again, silver stuff behind the headliner, which I've also carpeted, and in the end decided to carpet around this back door. I didn't want loads and loads of carpet in here, which is why I've got the tongue and groove on the walls, but it kind of needed it on there. So obviously you've got your bed here, which I'll show you in a minute, and we've got the kitchen here, which I'll show you now. In fact, first of all, in here is where the water tanks are. They're two 12-litre tanks, one for fresh water and one for dirty water from the sink, and they just fit in there. Again, I've built this unit around the water tanks so they fit nice and snug, but there is a strap in there to hold them as well. And a little magnetic catch on there, nice and tidy. Right, this is the sort of kitchen unit. As I say, the water tank's from there. I've got this very tiny fridge that is wrapped all the way around the outside of it with silver bubble insulation again, and then there's a layer of polystyrene all around there. The back is obviously open because the fans and stuff are in there for this little fridge, and there's a gap down here and a gap inside the cupboard to let the air flow through there as well. If I decide to go away for a long time, there's space in here or space in the front for a bigger kind of electric cooler or something like that. But I just wanted a little fridge in here that, you know, you could put a pint of milk and a bit of cheese or whatever in there just to keep it cool. Here we've got our 24.5, I think, inch sink, which has got, it says, maybe I need to switch it on. There we go, electric pump on there, and on this panel down here as well, we've got lights in the roof, light at the back, light at the front, so that you can see at night. I guess that's what lights are for. In here, we've got a cooker, which just sits on there, and there is a little fan, because I just thought that this is so close to the ceiling that we might want to get a bit of air circulation going on above the cooker when we're cooking. So this was like $2.99 or something, USB fan. We'll see how that goes on, but for now it seems to work. Also in here, I've got another cooker, because around this side is another little feature that I put in. So down here is the control panel, switches for the lights, switch to the fridge, switch for the pump, 12-volt socket, 2 USB sockets. One of them has got the fan plugged into it at the moment, but obviously you can take that out and plug whatever you want into there, and that's fine. And then I had this idea, I had some of this worktop material left to extend the worktop, and then I thought, hang on a minute, if I put this shelf lower, if I want to cook on 2 burners at once, I can put this on here, and we've basically got a little 2-burner stove. But you wouldn't want to be using that all the time, so you don't want it. Also, if you're lying in bed, this is quite a good table if you wanted to put an iPad on and watch a film or watch some TV or something. And this table's a quite nice height for that. And then you just, it's a bit stiff, this. Clip it, and it goes down. So I knew that I was going to need some curtains in between the sort of back of the van and the cab. What I didn't want to do is have them sort of hanging off a wire or have a pole that just came straight across here, because it would make it quite difficult to get into this storage up here. And I was sort of thinking for a while, and I was in the shop and I saw this 16mm oval electrical conduit, which is quite stiff to work with, but it does bend, and hopefully after a few hot days it'll kind of soften and harden and get itself back into shape, but it's fine. So my sister very kindly helped me make these curtains. We just undo the thing and they can go around like that. They were just made out of an old pair of curtains, so these ties are actually the original curtain rings. There we go. So then I'm going to get like some press studs or something just to make sure that these stay back, but they're fine. And so now you sort of enclosed. For the back windows, we're going to make some nice insulated panels with magnets, and for now I used some leftover installation just to make these. Some suckers on the back, and they can go into the back windows to keep it nice and dark and to keep a bit more heat in at night as well. And they slot nicely into this little space down here, which is good. So that's basically everything inside. So we've got 1, 2, 3 big storage boxes. There's another big space at the back which will fit the smallest Thetford porta potty, will fit under there. I've not decided whether I'm going to get one or not yet, but if I want to, I can. Otherwise it's just like a boot, shoe, garage, not really a garage, it's a bit small, but it's a space anyway. Right, so we better have a look at how we set the bed up. So one of the things with the short wheelbase caddy is this payload at the back from the front to where the bulkhead was is 174 centimetres, which is exactly how tall I am. So there wouldn't have actually been really space to sleep in here. But the extensions at the end dealt with that, and then to convert to a bed, it's just same as I saw a lot of people have used, this kind of slide out thing. So you just sort of grab the front, give it a pull, it goes there, it goes there, and there's your bed, which is plenty big enough. There we go. And pillows.
Hello.
And you're ready.
Right. Is that the 9?
Yeah, that's it. Brilliant.
Sorry.
Thank you.
See you later.
That was my sleeping bag arriving. Well, it was good timing. The delivery man just brought the sleeping bag. So this is a big Coleman double sleeping bag. It does take up a lot of space. We'll see how practical it is. This may be the one thing that has to be kind of thrown in the front if you want to just use the back during the day. But that's sort of small price to pay for what feels like a very warm sleeping bag. So, this is my van. I hope you've enjoyed this tour. Most of the stuff on this YouTube channel is music that I make and things like that, but you never know, there might be more van stuff in future. So if you're interested in that, have a look, like, subscribe, all those things that I suppose you're supposed to do. And any questions in the comments, I will try and answer. Right, thank you. Bye.